Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're doing a comprehensive chapter-by-chapter breakdown of a headset that's basically promising to do the impossible, the newly announced HyperX Cloud Alpha Air. Look, if you spend hours immersed in virtual worlds, you already know audio isn't just background noise, right? It's literally survival. It's how you know someone's sneaking up behind you or exactly where your next objective is located. And HyperX? Well, they've just dropped some hardware that claims to fundamentally change how we experience all that audio. Let's start with the ultimate gamer question. Normally, in the audio world, you're forced into a really frustrating choice. You either grab a closed-back headset for that booming cinematic bass, or you go open-back for a wider, much more realistic soundstage. But you have to kiss that low-end punch goodbye. We gamers absolutely hate compromising, and while HyperX is claiming you just don't have to choose anymore. Okay, let's map out our agenda for this review and break down exactly how HyperX attempts to solve this audio dilemma. We'll be hitting the open-back trade-off, the bass tube innovation, design and comfort, stream-friendly features, connectivity options, and finally, the verdict. Jumping right into Chapter 1, the open-back trade-off. Let's look at the foundational design shift HyperX is making here with their very first open-back headset. For competitive gamers, this vented design is absolutely crucial. You see, when an ear cup is sealed tight, sound waves just bounce off the plastic around your ear, which kind of muddies the audio. But with an open-back soundstage, the sound waves travel naturally out into the room. It's literally the difference between hearing a footstep somewhere to the left and knowing an enemy is exactly behind a specific wall. Your brain just processes it more like real-world sound. So you aren't just hearing the game anymore, you're spatially aware of your entire environment. It's a true competitive advantage. You get all that intricate detail and natural sound to give you the upper hand. But, as we mentioned earlier, the traditional trade-off here is losing that heavy, impactful bass. Which brings us to Chapter 2, the bass tube innovation. This is where the engineering gets incredibly clever. Meet the built-in HyperX bass tube. This little red component sitting right inside the acoustic chamber is specifically designed to fix that missing low end notorious in traditional open-back designs. It physically channels and amplifies the lower frequencies before they can escape through the vents. But trapping those low-end frequencies, you get that bone-rattling, rumbling bass the HyperX Cloud lineage is so famous for, all while keeping the breathable clarity of an open-back style. It's quite literally attempting to offer the holy grail of headset audio, the absolute best of both worlds, unified right in a single headset. All right, moving on to Chapter 3, design and all-day comfort. Because let's be real, amazing sound doesn't matter one bit if you have a massive headache after an hour. To eliminate ear fatigue during those marathon gaming sessions, HyperX is using plush foam wrapped in premium Ultra-suede. If you haven't felt Ultra-suede before, it's this incredibly soft, breathable material that pairs beautifully with the vented ear cups. It keeps you cool and prevents your ears from overheating during intense, sweaty final circles. And beyond just being soft, we gotta talk structural integrity. Thanks to a solid metal reinforced headband and metal sliders, this thing is built to survive daily wear and tear. Honestly, probably even the occasional frustrated desk slam after a really tough loss. You can toss these around, pull them on and off your head all day, and that metal frame ensures they won't just snap under pressure like cheaper plastic alternatives tend to do. Next up, Chapter 4, stream-friendly features. Let's talk about how this hardware translates for live streamers, content creators, or just really vocal co-op gamers. Because of those vented ear cups we just talked about, you get a massive secondary benefit. You can actually hear your own voice naturally in the room while you're playing and talking. If you've ever worn heavy, closed-back headphones, you totally know that muffled, underwater feeling that makes you accidentally scream at your friends or stream chat. With this design, you can instantly regulate your speaking volume and, avoid blowing out your friends' eardrums entirely naturally. You get to judge your mic volume on the fly without wrestling with clunky sidetone software or complex external mixing boards to monitor your levels. It massively simplifies the whole communication process and just makes you sound better to everyone else. Getting down to Chapter 5, connectivity and ecosystem. Gamers rarely just stick to a single screen anymore, right? You might jump from a PC to a console to a handheld device all in one afternoon. Thankfully, the Cloud Alpha Air is highly adaptable, offering modern USB-C, traditional USB-A, and analog 3.5mm connections right out of the box. That means you're not locked into one single corporate ecosystem. Whether you're gaming from the couch on a PlayStation 4 or 5, an Xbox Series X or S, traveling with a Nintendo Switch, or grinding away at a high-end PC setup, you've got the exact wire you need. Just plug in the appropriate cable, and you're good to go. And for the PC crowd, specifically folks on Windows 10 or 11, you get an extra layer of control. HyperX's dedicated Ingenuity software lets you get really granular with your spatial audio experience. You can tweak the EQ to boost the specific frequencies of footsteps in a competitive shooter, or you can widen the spatial audio for maximum cinematic immersion in a huge single-player RPG. You genuinely get to dial in the exact sound profile to match whatever you're playing. Finally, we've arrived at Chapter 6, the final verdict. Bringing all of these impressive design features and software capabilities together, let's look at the bottom line for you, the consumer. At a price point of $149.99, this headset represents a premium but highly competitive investment in your setup. It sits perfectly in that sweet spot where you're paying for real, tangible acoustic engineering, but you're not crossing over into absurdly priced audiophile territory. Ultimately, it just eliminates the historical compromise of headset audio. Instead of settling for a wide soundstage with hollow lows, that innovative bass tube delivers breathable, highly detailed directional audio right alongside genuine, rumbling bass. It's a massive leap forward for headset design, fixing a problem we gamers have complained about for years. Which leaves us with this final thought as we wrap up this explainer. Is your current closed-off headset holding back your competitive edge? And maybe more importantly, are you ready to finally hear the open back difference without leaving your bass behind? Thanks so much for hanging out and learning with me today, and I'll catch you in the next one.